What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of That Chronicles. Hey, listen, it's been a while since we've been out there, and I have three special guests today, and one actually out there hosting. Chris Boston is in the house from New Life Outreach. Ministries and outreach. I don't know. It's so long. I know there's an abbreviation to it. I should remember that as well, but I just don't. She brought me cookies today, and I should already know this. Chris, welcome back. It's great to see you. We had you on another show not too long ago for Let's Talk Local. Very impressed with what you're doing out there in the world, helping as many people as you can, and it's usually one person at a time sometimes. And that's a hard way to Sunday, but you're doing it, and kudos to you and everything that you're doing. How have you been?
Oh, good. And we're super excited about being on the show today.
Yeah, no, and too, this is something that we're going to toggle off into another show. But I do believe that today belongs in the Roger That Chronicle atmosphere, just because we're going to be talking about military moms. Wait, did I join the military too?
I know.
That's kind of, I bet, how all of you feel
right
into the scenario. So, hey, listen, let's go around the table. Who do we got today?
Oh, well, I'm Chris Boston with New Life Ministry and Outreach.
Awesome.
And we're a veterans organization that is dedicated to supporting our veterans as they transition into this new life they're in. And we have a progressive and proactive approach that focuses on the holistic well-being of the veteran.
Awesome.
And then Lisa?
Hello, I'm Lisa Schumacher, and my son is newly into the military, so thank you for inviting me here today.
And what branch is he in?
He's in the Navy.
Okay.
Awesome.
And I'm Diane Hussey, and thank you for inviting me. And I have a daughter who was Air Force for 14 years, now Air National Guard.
Awesome. Well, thank them for their service.
Yeah, so I like the diversity here. And so, I get a lot of military conversations where they're like, well, they were Coast Guard, or they were, hey, listen, you're out there doing something. And kudos to anybody. I signed up Navy. Second swearing, I was told the job I was guaranteed is no longer available. So it's going to be what they call a swabby. And I was like, sorry, see ya. I'm just way too Chicago Italian. I didn't listen to my parents. There's no way. I'm kind of like, okay. So it's not meant for me, not meant for everybody, but I really, really love the fact I had two friends that went in, and actually three friends, two came back. One has a rare blood disease and ended up with MS, and they just took his stomach and his cancer. And I mean, this kid is, late 40s. So, kudos to what he did for us out there, and still fighting the good fight too. And I'll tell you, just the sense of humor on this guy, he still got it too. So he's like, well, I'm falling apart, but I'm still here, and I'm like, wow, great mindset. Not an easy thing to get through. Right.
Right.
So today we're talking about military moms. So how do you want to roll with this, Chris?
Well, I thought we could just share parts of our stories. I'll go ahead and I think we'll just go around the room this way, because Lisa, she's fresh into the military world, only like what, 5 months?
4 months.
4 months.
Yes.
So, and mine served 4 years, my Marine, and Diana, her daughter's been in for over 20 years.
Wow.
So we have a lot of different perspectives, as well as the different branches as well. So Lisa, how did you feel when your son came to you and said he wanted to enlist into the Navy?
So when he was first thinking about it, he was asking questions like, so who in the family has been in the military? And I think there hadn't been very many people that were in the military. And so he was just asking questions. And then all of a sudden he said, well, I'm going to join the Navy. I'm like, oh, okay. And so it was all of the feels, you know, you're happy, you're nervous, it's just all the feels. And so, but very proud of him that he decided to make this choice. So, yeah.
And then what was his MOS?
MOS.
Oh, sorry. What area did he decide to go into?
Oh, he's going to be a pilot.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So he already has his commercial pilot license. So he graduated from college, and now he is going to be a pilot. He applied to be a pilot. Well, first he applied, and he got the second seat. So the way he explained it to me was like the movie Maverick.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted Maverick's job, but he got Goose's job. So he reapplied because he didn't want Goose's job. He wants Maverick's job. So, and I didn't know that you could turn down a job. So, but he did. And so now he reapplied, and now he's going to get Maverick's job. So
Woohoo!
proud of him.
Very good. And he's going in as an officer.
Yes.
Is his plan.
Yep.
Very good.
Yes. So very exciting.
good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing.
Yes.
So my Marine, he went in straight out of high school,
Okay.
and his grandfather is Navy, so we're just wasn't sure what he wanted to do, and he said, "No, I want to be Marine Corps." And I was like, "Okay, cool. That's a cool one to be in."
Right.
And then he's like, "I want to be infantry." And I was like, "No, not that one." And he's like, "I want the full experience." I was like, "Okay." So how about you, Diane?
My daughter had been in college on a soccer scholarship, and she had just destroyed her legs. She had so many hairline fractures and what have you. And so she just kind of quit college, and she didn't know what she wanted to do. And she was getting an oil change when a Navy recruiter spoke to her. And so she went to talk to Navy, Army, and Air Force. And it was probably one of the very few times that she actually listened to her father and me as we, recommended Air Force for the quality of life. Mm. And Army was, of course, offering a huge bonus to go, but she ultimately chose Air Force, and very thankful for that course. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what was it like when she went off to basic training?
She'd been at college, so,
Okay.
I was used to her being gone, and we lived in San Antonio at the time, and that's where basic training was. So she
you were
wasn't
close.
She wasn't far away. So it, I have a very strong faith in God. I just see how God maneuvered and put everything into place for her. She's had a very blessed and cushy career.
Well, she's safe, so that is good. That's good. Yeah, so mine, he went off to boot camp, and we were in Texas, so he went to California for his boot camp, and then my husband got relocated here. So, and he's my baby. So then we were empty nesters. And so that was a whole other journey all by itself,
right,
of just missing him and all of that.
Yep.
And how about yourself, Lisa?
So he went into, what do you call it?
Basic training?
Nope, not basic training. To be officer training. Sorry.
Officer training.
Yes. So he went straight into officer training, and like you, he was already gone. He had already gone to college, and so he was already like gone. But prior to that, he graduated in June, and then he said, "Oh, by the way, I'm going to get married." So he got married in July.
Lots of changes.
Yes, lots of changes. And then he said, "I'm going into the Navy." Well, we knew that, but so he went into the Navy in August. So he had he had looked at all of the different branches also, and he looked at all of the different planes that were in the different branches, and he decided that the Navy planes are the planes that he wanted to fly. So here we are.
Yeah,
So-
I'm curious what kind of plane that is.
I don't.
You don't know? It's okay.
I should know, but I
That's
don't.
definitely the next Top Gun story, right?
Yes,
there.
yes.
It is, yeah.
He's like, I chose the branch based on their planes. The SR-71, I'm going to be flying that way. So I guess a quick question would be, that's a lot of changes all in one shot.
Yes, it is.
How did that affect you as far as the change? Now, let's just say married and now in the Navy, right?
Right.
What was one of the big obstacles you had to overcome at home to try to create a new best practice of every day?
So it kind of consumed my summer because in June he graduated, and then in July he got married, and then in August he went into the Navy. So I'm like, okay, just step by step. We're gonna get through the graduation, then we get through the wedding, and then we get through the Navy, and so I just had to do it step by step because otherwise I was just gonna.
Explode.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It's just way too many changes all at one time, and
Good for you.
yeah, so it was crazy, but everything happens for a reason, and it all falls into place, and it'll be what it'll be.
I love that.
So.
It's a great mindset.
Yep.
It really is.
And that's one of the things why I wanted to have this conversation, kind of like as a starter for the podcast, because it goes with our organization as well, because we're constantly transitioning in life. We're adapting to new seasons, trying to figure out what to do with this new change that's going on in our life,
Right.
And, we just have to adapt and overcome as people, and our military members, they're trained well to adapt and overcome,
Right.
So.
Yep.
They say when change isn't so scary anymore, when standing still is the new scary. That way you're able to change. You have to move forward. Everything moves forward no matter what. And I love the way that she puts it. God puts you into a place for a reason. You are right where you're supposed to be.
Right.
And so I think you nailed it on the head, Chris. Acceptance, I think, is key to everything, and adaptation. So what you can adapt and accept the adaptation or the actual change, you're able to move forward into the next phase, right? And then we get what? We get comfortable, right? And then we get
There's a new change.
Right.
And all of a sudden,
Yes.
bam,
Yep.
hits you right in the face like a ton of bricks, and then
Yep.
there's a change again.
Yeah.
But as long as you stay strong, and I love the mindset you have, as long as you stay strong, the right mindset, those changes won't be so drastic, or for you, right? Because, we're talking about our young ones, and they have lives too. They are people. And so we have to let go and let them learn the life lessons that we have and maybe more. Hopefully, as my father would put it, the crazy Italian that he was, kids are like having a gun with bullets. If you put it in the right direction, you pull the trigger, you just hope to God that bullet goes where it's supposed to go. Now, it goes off to the right, it goes off to the left. All of our kids have done it. I got 2 kids. I got 2 girls at home. And I don't even know if they're bullets at this point. They're just rocks rolling in the grass to the right. I don't even know. So I'm working hard on it.
Yes.
But I
They're all
love
on their own journey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
All we
absolutely.
can do is support them on their journey.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Support,
Yeah.
support, and to be there for that.
Yeah.
So but you know what? You're sitting there, and you're standing tall. The world's on your shoulders, and you're planting your feet, and you're looking forward, being like, "Let's go."
God is good.
I love it. God is good.
Mhm.
And shout out to Kent Jones, Deke, who we call Deke, here from the studio. He preaches that preach pretty good, man. And we're blessed to have him here with the studio as well to keep us going. He pulls me out of the fire quite a bit, actually. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes.
We got to have people like that in our lives for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
So what's the next take? What's the next phase?
So I know we've got all the different experiences from the beginning till the end. I guess I'm the end because he's not in anymore. But so let's talk about let's see. What was your proudest moment so far?
So far, my proudest moment was when he graduated from being an officer. So very proud of him. We all got to go out there and watch him graduate, and it was just great. Just great.
Yeah.
Yep.
That one is mine as well. Was my son's graduation, and when they came out marching all in total sync with their rifles and doing all that stuff that they're doing, it was just like, wow, this is so cool.
It is very cool.
And there's really not words to really express how proud you are of your kid.
Yep.
How about yours?
As you're talking about the graduation, as I was thinking about her graduating from training camp, really proud. She was the #1 female athlete.
Wow.
in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
So she got to run the last 2-mile run that they ran. She got to run with the officers.
Cool.
But my daughter had talked about, becoming an officer. But at that time, they were making a lot of cuts in the military, and a lot of the junior officers were going. So that she pretty much would have slit her throat if she opted for that. So she stayed enlisted. So really proud. My daughter made E9, which is the top enlisted rank before she turned 40, which is almost unheard of.
Wow.
So I'll 5'2" of her. And I just love the concept of my short little daughter and these big, tall, 6-foot+ guys looking down and saying, "Yes, Chief Master Sergeant."
That's awesome.
Because when she was little, she has 2 older brothers, and her favorite thing to say was, "You're not the boss of me."
I'm going to assume she's nothing like her mother.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She is a mini me on steroids.
I bet.
Okay.
That's awesome.
So now what was the most challenging part of her whole journey in the military?
It's just, the amount of time that she's gone, the amount of time between when I get to see her, because she's always been, she was deployed Germany, then she comes back, then she's over in Hawaii. That was a really great, she's had really good duty. She was part of a joint task force that went all over the world looking for POW MIA remains.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
For 4 years.
Wow.
Wow.
So she was all over the world.
Wow.
She's in the medical branch. And very often she was the chief enlisted person in each of the missions. So, and then there she is, all 5'2" of her carrying these 50-pound packs with the drugs that nobody else can be carrying, and they're looking at her like, we have a mountain to climb in Malaysia to get to the site. And there she is, because she's tough. She's tough.
Yes.
Wow.
Sounds like it.
I feel like we just need to take a quick moment of silence for those MIA and POWs and for the Gold Star families. Yes. a challenge for those families.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah. And we've been blessed not to have to experience that challenge.
And those stories, because they are able to find remains and connect them through DNA and
Closure.
return, and people are able to get closure.
Good.
That's good.
That's huge.
Good.
That is huge.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yes.
So she
Yeah.
got to travel to all the coolest places in the world.
She's actually served on 4 continents.
Wow. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, she
And on
did.
top of that, she got the duty of helping people close.
Mhm.
So they know what's worse than no answers, right?
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Exactly.
They actually found one pilot in a plane in the swamps in Papua New Guinea. He was still strapped into the plane, and it was in a swamp.
Wow.
And the 4 hours they would pump out the water so that they could do what they had to do for about 4 hours.
Wow.
And they go, and the next morning they come and they pump it out for 4 hours so they could do
Wow.
what they had to do. So, not the easiest conditions to
No.
live in, but
And wow.
yeah, she's, it's life is an adventure,
It is.
Mhm.
and it really is all about your attitude.
Oh yeah.
And so, yeah.
Well,
It's
I have to
fun.
say, listening to that story, a lot of the stories that we listen to are like, this is what it was like on the combat field, or this is what it was like during my tour. And a lot of it is either fighting or hiding or surveying. That's one of the first stories, to be honest with you, that I've heard that shows a different positioning
Mhm.
of what people do in the military and how granular it is. You can work with all the verticals in the world,
Mhm.
but that was a fan. Thanks for sharing that. That was a great story.
Mhm.
And kudos to your daughter for being who she is, and she's blessed to be like her mom. And that's your greatness just the same. So thank you for
Thank
sharing
you.
that.
Thank you.
And how about you?
The only challenge we've had so far is hurry up and wait.
Welcome to the military.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're in the hurry up and wait phase right now. So that's been the biggest challenge for us and for him. So
Waiting.
waiting, just waiting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It was interesting for me, when it was for my son's first deployment. I think that was the most challenging because it's like you don't know what to expect. And with the Marine Corps, they're like, you can't tell anybody anything for this amount of time. And so it's like, I couldn't go to work and say, hey, he's being deployed,
And
It's
he's
like,
going here.
yeah, you
Yeah.
got to just keep it all inside.
Oh, that's gonna be
Yeah.
hard.
Oh,
Yeah.
And so that was challenging. And fortunately, I had a friend who just happened to come out and visit me at the same time when my son was deploying. And so it was in that time that I was waiting to hear from him, and it was so weird because this friend had lost her son to leukemia.
Mhm.
And it was still fresh when she came out to visit me. And we were both going through the mourning process.
Oh, yeah.
Even though I hadn't lost mine,
Mhm.
I didn't know if I was going to lose him. And I just thought that was the strangest thing of why did I feel that way? Because I should have been like, no, I have more hope that he is going to come home, right?
Right. Yep.
Mhm.
We prayed that he would, But I think it was good for both of us to have each other to kind of like just process and share our thoughts with each other during that time, you know. God is so good. He always gives us different battle buddies to go
Right?
through life with.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, as moms, it's like we because we've raised those kids, you know, as babies and then go through the toddlers, all of a sudden they're teenagers, you know, and then they're adults going on these journeys. And, you know, our emotions with our kids are just like so deep because we're so close with them, you know.
Mhm.
So it makes this journey interesting. So thank you guys for sharing your stories. What about your favorite, I guess your favorite moment? I don't know if that's close to your proudest. I don't think so. I'll give you a hint. So my favorite part is obviously all the homecomings when my son could come home
Mhm.
from the deployments. We'd go over there and, you know, make all the banners, make all the signs, welcome home, you know, cheer on all the guys when they would come back. And so all those homecoming times were my favorite, and just getting to connect with, you know, all the brothers that I adopted.
Right. Yeah.
and meeting the other moms and dads that were on the journey with me.
Mhm.
So who's first? Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
I think it was when we went to visit her, instead of her coming home, when we would go and visit. So we went to visit when she was stationed in Alaska,
Oh, nice.
you know,
Nice.
which was fabulous. And then we went to visit when she was in Germany, which was, you know, which was wonderful as well. And then she ended up coming back to serve for 3 years in San Antonio. And so, you know, so that was really nice as well, that we, you know, that she was actually back in the same building, but she was taking care of all the recruits, you know, that come in for basic training.
Mm.
And, you know, they would come in and with their complaint, you know, with a cold or a sprain, strain or whatever, you know, and she's like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, what's the pain level or how you feeling? 10 being, you know, really, really bad. Oh, it's a 10. Oh my, you know, they're just so dramatic. And she'd just say, you know, we got people overseas, they're getting arms and legs blown off. That's a 10 and you are a 1?
That's a whole new scale right there.
Yeah.
She created.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and she did say, and she came back, it was 7 years after she went through basic training when she came back. And she's like, oh my goodness, the standards have dropped so significantly. They had dropped like by 25%
Wow.
in terms of fitness levels
Uh,
coming into the military. And that was back in about 2010. So,
Wow.
you know, it
Wow.
was pretty sad. It was pretty sad. Yeah, but my daughter has an incredible sense of humor and a little bit warped.
Where did she
maybe.
get it from? How about you, Lisa?
So I guess favorite time was when we got to go out and see him graduate, and my daughter-in-law had gotten her military ID, so she was able to get us on base, and then we drove up to his barracks or whatever, and it was just so cool to see them together
Yeah.
for the first time
Oh, wow.
in 13 weeks. So,
Yeah.
and to give him a big hug.
Yeah, that's got to be, you know, so, and I was going to ask all three of you this. So when homecomings really happen and they walk through that door, right? Is it a sense of, okay, they're home? a piece of normalcy or nostalgia, or how does that work? How does that fit in for you guys? Is it like, okay, I was so worried. In the back of your head, it's your kid, right? So in the back of your head, you're always going to have a sense of, no matter what. Number one, you're a mom, hardest job in the world, period, right? For two, that sits in the back of your head. Sons, daughters, they are now away from home. It could be college. It could be I got married and I'm moving to a different state. Those different styles of changes. So it's got to be coming back from whatever it is. If it's hey, you get to come home for, what is it? I don't even know, a couple days maybe, or something in that fashion. Do you feel like I can let go for a second and be like, okay, they're home. I don't have to worry for a minute. Is that the feeling that you would get on that?
Definitely from deployments.
Yeah.
Definitely. Because the entire time they're gone, you're just praying for them every single day, like all day long, and just waiting to hear from them.
Yeah.
You know, am I going to get a letter, or am I actually going to get a phone call? You know?
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of folks out there that can relate to this story. We are already 32 minutes in, so we are wrapping up.
Wow. Yeah.
I told you it goes fast.
It does go fast. Yes.
I only had one more question.
Go ahead.
And I think I'm going to give it to Diane.
Okay.
But I don't know. Maybe if you have something to add, you can.
Okay.
What advice would you give to a new military mom or dad?
Good question.
So recently I had a vision of, like a lazy river or a creek running through a pasture, and it's got all these curves, all these twists and turns. And that kind of is who I am. I'm very laid back. I go with the flow. Life is not like that. Life is like zigzags. You get to a point, okay, and now you overreact, okay, and you go in that direction, and then something happens, and you go. And so, I guess my best advice would be take a deep breath and kind of just go with the flow. Let things start to play out rather than trying to react and make plans and try to fix things. I'm a huge believer, and I give it to God, and he just kind of directs my path. And I think that would be my best advice. No matter military or anything, when God gave me that vision, it's just like, well, that's how I want to live my life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've mentioned it to several people, and they've agreed that it will help them in certain times in their life to try and remember not to zigzag, not to overreact.
Right.
Ride the raft down the river.
There you go.
There you go.
River ride.
Yeah.
That was well put.
Just
I
let
love
the
that.
water
That was very
roll
good.
off you.
I'm stealing that, by the way.
Okay.
I like that.
I will
Very
pass your
good.
word on. Yes.
There you
Well,
go.
thank you guys so much for taking your time out to be on the show with us today.
Yes,
I
thank
really
you.
appreciate
Thanks for
you
having me.
guys sharing.
It was fun.
Yes, it was good.
And thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
This was fun. You made it easy.
Oh,
Yes.
I did nothing. I just sat here, made some jokes. You guys did all the hard labor, really, as usual. Listen, folks, if you like what you see here today, don't be afraid to open up the old Google box. Go to YouTube, 216 Creator Studios. Hit that live tab, like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to ding that bell for future notifications. We do appreciate your support. Not support, but support. Yeah, too much coffee today, Chris. And listen, always remember, keep on keeping on, and don't forget to be kind to others. We appreciate you. From Roger, That Chronicles to the rest of you guys, take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.